Wow. Jill, you've got a really, really nice place here. I think it actually might be even better than the place your brother and I have. And I just can't allow that to be the case. So what do you say? Do you want to give up your apartment to us?
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Ashley? Are you and my brother at my apartment right now or something like that? I wish you would have told me beforehand that you were going to visit. I would have tried to clean up around there. I hope it isn't too much of a mess or anything like that. But what are you doing there anyways?
Oh, don't worry about that. We just felt like popping by the place while you were away, so it's all good. Although I will say that we're already making ourselves at home right now. We're helping ourselves to the beer and wine that you had in the kitchen right now, actually. And now we're sitting on the couch in your living room, splitting what looked like a very expensive bar of chocolate.
Hold on just a second. Are you two really eating that? That was a gift from a client of mine after we had a meeting. I was saving it for a special occasion to eat. Did you really just eat the whole thing without even asking me if it was okay to do first?
You really are such a cheapskate, do you know that? You really need to learn how to share. Besides, are you really going to miss one measly little chocolate bar when you live in a nice place like this?
That really isn't the problem that I'm having right now, Ashley. My problem right now is that there are 2 uninvited people in my house right now, and I can't do anything about it right now. Besides, I really was saving that chocolate. You had no right to eat it.
Well, it's not like you're at home or at work right now, are you? I already know for a fact that you're on maternity leave. My brother told me all about how you keep going out despite taking time off work so that you could rest and get ready to have your baby.
Oh, really? Is that how Matt described what I was doing to you? We've talked about this before, but he just refused to listen to what I have to say. I'm not just taking maternity leave early so that I can have some kind of vacation or anything like that. Matt just likes to think that's what I'm doing so that he can put me down for having a little fun. But he really needs to watch the way that he talks about me.
Well, it sounds like you're putting my brother through quite a bit with your crappy attitude and selfishness.
It really isn't anything like that. Maybe you should just let me speak for myself and not take your brother's reading of my business. In fact, isn't Matt actually at the apartment as well? Is he the one who let you in? He didn't even mention to me at all that you were going to be coming over. I guess that's why he waited for me to be out of the house.
Well, no duh. It isn't like I was ever going to come over here to try and catch up with you at all. I'm only here to move into my new room is all. I just wanted to get a little sneak peek before I actually started bringing my things over.
I see. I think that there might be some kind of misunderstanding between us right now.
Oh, really? I think I feel pretty informed. You've already gone back to your hometown to give birth, right? Because you wanted to run away and go be with your parents so badly. Isn't that right?
I mean, I wanted to be with them when I have my child, yes. After all, it will be nice to have 2 people around me who can look after me afterwards. I thought about staying in town to have the kid, but Matt is pretty unreliable, and so I just thought I'd visit home for a while.
And just why didn't you go to my parents' place to have your kid instead? Is something wrong with them?
No, of course there's nothing wrong with your parents. It's just that I didn't want to burden them with looking after me.
Whatever. Why didn't you just admit that you're homesick and that's it? Of course, I think we both know that would basically be an admission that you're not ready to be a mother. Especially now that you're claiming to try and avoid the father as desperately as you're doing. Maybe you two should just read the writing on the wall and get a divorce. Don't you think?
Excuse me, but I hardly see how being homesick has anything to do at all with the kind of mother that I would be. I mean, you do realize that I manage a company for a living, right? I'm more than capable of handling anything. That's why I got chocolate from a client in the first place, and why do I even bother with you?
Well, then how do you explain all the time that you spend holed up in that room of yours? I mean, is that what you're calling running a company? Sounds to me like you're just a spoiled little brat who can't take a little bit of fair criticism. In fact, I bet that you actually get all your money from your parents and family.
I'm not gonna lie to you and pretend like I don't have a lot of relatives who managed businesses. But I haven't had my path decided by them, and they haven't handed me my business on a silver platter or anything. The only thing that I got from my family in terms of building up my business was what they taught me about running one.
Yeah. I bet you're just in your room playing video games all day. But, you know, more than anyone else, I just feel bad for my poor older brother. Especially when he shows me photos of you two going out together. It's really obvious that you've put on a lot of weight. I had no idea someone could even get that fat.
I'll have you know that that is because I am literally pregnant right now. You have no idea how easy it is to get emotional or feel uneasy when you're like this. But why would you even say something like that to me anyways? Don't you realize how cruel that is to say?
Well, it's not my fault if you can't put down the sweets for your own good. Maybe it's a good thing we came over and had your chocolate anyways. A baby doesn't need to be eating all that junk food just because its mother can't help herself. So not only do your parents spoil you with whatever you want, you also just give in to all your impulses, don't you?
Ashley, I understand that there are a lot of people out there who put a lot of stock into what their body looks like, right? But I've put my own thoughts into this, and I really don't think that following some kind of strict diet is good for the baby either. Besides, I eat a balanced diet and make sure that I get up and get some exercise for the sake of the baby.
And look at where that's gotten you. But since we're almost subject, you should know that, I'm pregnant as well. I was waiting to get out of my first trimester to make the big announcement.
Wait, what? You are? You're really pregnant? Well, that's amazing! Oh, congrats on that!
That's right. So, you better buy some really great gifts when I have my baby shower. Got it?
Oh, were you having a baby shower? I hadn't heard of that. Just what kind of gift are you expecting?
Well, normally it would be supplies for the baby, but you're a special case. After all, you probably have a ton of money lying around from your family. So, obviously what I want you to give me is a big fat check. Got it?
I see. Well, in that case, I think I'll have to think about this.
Hey there, Jill. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to go out with the boys again tonight. You gotta worry about the kid and all though, so feel free to just go ahead and fall asleep without me.
Hold on a second, Matt. You're going to go out drinking again? Don't you think that you've been stepping out to do that just a little too much lately? I mean, I feel like all you do on your time off is hang out with people from the office or your friends. Are you feeling okay? Is everything okay?
Now you listen here, Jill. This really has nothing to do with you or us, okay? But I work hard for this family, and I should be allowed to take a break now and then when I want to. Are you really telling me that you have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that or anything. It's just that I feel like you've changed recently. I don't know. I just feel like you complain a lot more often, and no matter what I say, you always have a mean comment to reply to me with.
Well, that's because I have a lot going on, and I just need some space to think, okay? Is that really the worst thing in the world?
Matt, if that's all that's going on, then of course you can have space. I just don't get what's making you so upset like this.
Maybe what's making me so upset is that every day I have to get up for work and then drive myself down to the bone. Meanwhile, you're on your special leave and just get to sit around doing nothing and having no worries. Thanks to you, I'm having to work twice as hard now.
Matt, I really have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't think that you do either. I may not be working, but I am very pregnant, and I am taking care of myself around the clock right now. I have times when I'm in real pain and discomfort, and I can't just wash it away with liquor like you can. All I was doing was going home sore and in pain to you, who was always ready to put me down. And instead of being able to rest, you would just hound me about what I was making for dinner or some mess that you didn't clean up yourself.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess that makes you the queen of the world, doesn't it? Women like you really need to learn their place, especially when they are as old as you. You should consider yourself lucky that I even wanted to touch you. Women like you aren't worth a thing in this world. You should just be lucky that you even ended up with a guy like me in the first place.
Excuse me? I have to learn my place? I don't have any value? That's rich coming from a bum like you. All you do is order me around just because you went to work. But I'm not a tool, a maid, or your mother. I am your wife, and you owe me respect.
Okay, I am seriously starting to get fed up with the uppity attitude of yours. You really must think that you're untouchable all because you're pregnant.
Well, the whole reason it took me this long to get pregnant in the first place was because of the stress that you were putting me under. The doctor said that we were lucky to have this one stick. Don't you realize the risk you're running by talking to me like this?
Well, I wouldn't want to get like this if you would just shut up and do what I tell you to. I don't need the back talk. Especially not for some fat old cow who is doing nothing but lounging around her parents' house getting spoiled.
I'll have you know that I took my computer with me over here and have been doing work. And you do realize that the work for both of us is only going to increase after I have this kid, right?
And just what is that supposed to mean? Who do you think you are to try and tell me what I will and won't have to do after you have your kid?
Who do I think I am? I think that I am your wife. But whatever, you don't care. Just go and drink with your friends like you always do.
I really just can't believe you. I seriously have no idea how I ended up with such an awful wife.
Oh, please. You're the one who invited over your sister without even telling me. And then you let her drink our drinks and eat our food like my special chocolate that I was gifted from a client. When are you going to start taking responsibility for all the things that happen under your watch? Huh?
Oh, just shut up already. Who cares about some stupid piece of chocolate? What am I supposed to do when we have guests? Just not offer them a drink and something to eat?
I don't care at all if you do that, but why do you have to offer them my goods when you do so? Besides, even when I was at home, I would be working in my room while you invited friends or family over all the time. If you want to have people over, that's fine, but then you take care of serving them food that's not mine.
Well, you should be the one serving our guests anyways. You're the woman and that's your job. Do you not realize that yet?
Okay then, if that's true, then what is the man supposed to do, huh? Just order people around to feel good about himself? You don't even make as much money as I do, and yet you think you can talk to me like this. You're accusing me of being spoiled, but you're the real spoiled brat here.
Enough! I've had just about enough from you. Don't even bother coming back home here, okay? You can do whatever you want, since you know what's best for everyone in the whole frickin' world, apparently.
Well, fine then. Maybe I will do what I want.
Hey there, Jill. You must be getting quite close to having your kid by now, right? Well, I have some big news that I just have to share with you.
What is it, Ashley? What do you want? To be honest, I'm really not in the mood for talking, so could we please just make this quick?
You really are just no fun sometimes, do you know that? But if you really want me to cut to the chase, then I guess I will. The thing is, that my husband and I finally found a place to live while I wait to have my kid, too. Matt told me that we could just use your place to stay if we wanted to.
Oh, really? Did your brother really say that you could just live in our apartment now?
That's right. And of course we said that sounded like a good idea. Especially after he explained that you were never going to be coming back. But I have to say that I haven't seen my brother this happy or healthy in years. It's clear that even just having you around was a real drain on poor Matt's constitution.
I see. But you're telling me that it was fine if you and your husband moved into our place?
That's right. I knew that he would have our back in this. But it really is just too bad for you now that you don't even have a home to come back to.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. I won't be going back there, so you can do whatever you'd like with the house.
Wait, really? Are you serious? Oh, wow, that's amazing. Hey, Jill. What the heck is going on here? I don't understand what this is all about. Someone put a letter in the mail slot of the apartment, and when I opened it, it was an eviction notice.
Well, yeah, that sounds about right to me. After all, I had my name on the lease for the place, and I canceled it yesterday. So it makes sense that you're being evicted from the room I'm no longer paying for.
But... wait, I don't understand. I thought that my brother owned this place. What do you mean it was your name on the lease?
I mean that I was the one that put the money down for the place. I'm the one that pays rent, so it's my name on the lease. And now that no one owns that room anymore, it sounds like you all need to move out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to spend some time with my newborn baby. I really just can't be wasting my energy explaining these very basic concepts to you. So anyways, if I were you all, I would start looking for a new place to live.
But wait, I don't understand. Did you really own this place? Are you telling me that my brother has no real claim to this apartment at all?
Yeah, pretty much. But if you don't believe me, that's fine. You'll still be made to move out in the end.
This can't be happening. This doesn't make any sense at all. I don't understand what's going on right now.
It really is quite simple. The fact of the matter is that your brother couldn't even afford a place like that. I chose that apartment because I liked it and because I had the money to get it.
But Matt told me that you're just a shut-in. He told me that you hardly even leave the room. How do you have that much money?
Ashley, you and I have been over this multiple times, remember? I'm not a shut-in or anything like that at all. I literally own and manage a company.
I didn't know that was real. I thought that was just a lie you were telling people.
Again, you don't have to believe anything that you don't want to, but whether or not you listen to me isn't going to change the fact that I'm telling you the truth.
I mean, I believe it, but I can't believe it, you know? But, okay. If you're telling the truth, then please can you do something about this apartment? This place is amazing and we don't want to leave.
Okay then, if you like the room so much, why don't you pay the rent for it? You should know that it's not cheap, though.
Exactly, and we don't have the kind of money to afford a place like this. We thought that we were going to be able to live here because you said we could. Oh, please. We can't lose the house. We don't have anywhere else to go. We already cancelled the lease on our last place, too.
I see. But that really isn't any of my business at all, so I don't really think that I care to help either of you out. Good luck with the house hunting, though. It sounds to me like you're really going to need it after all of this.
Please, Jill. I'm sorry if I was mean to you before, but we really need you right now. You can even come back home if you want. We can all live here together. There's more than enough room. My husband and I will share a bedroom.
Yeah, that just sounds all around unpleasant for me. I mean, why would I spend my hard-earned money on making sure that you and your husband and your lost brother can all have a roof over your heads? It just really doesn't seem fair to me at all, don't you think?
But we can all make up and be friends. Oh, I swear. Please, you don't have to do this. I mean, you know that I'm pregnant, right? You aren't going to throw me out in a state like this, are you? Do you really think it's fair to keep an expecting mother out of the only home she has for her baby?
I'm sorry, but I've already acted and nothing is going to undo what I've done. You were the one who thought that your idiot brother actually had any say in any matters to do with the house. And now you're begging me to support you in your idiotic mistake after all the horrible things that you've said to me?
But where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do to provide for ourselves? Please, you're the only person that we can turn to for help.
Again, that really isn't my problem at all. You got yourself into this mess, now it's up to you to get yourself out. Maybe you should try asking your brother for a little help with all of this? I just hope you finally realize that I was the one making all the money between the two of us.
Well, I can see that now. I really had no idea that you were so wealthy, though. It's obvious that Matt was just trying to use your wealth to brag about himself.
Oh, I would say he did all that and much more. I mean, did you know that I was basically paying for every little thing of his?
What do you mean by that?
You really aren't well informed at all, are you? I'm sure you know that Matt has a job, but did you know that it's only part-time? Everything that he can't afford to cover with his salary, I pay for. In fact, I really don't know how that brother of yours is going to carry on without my money to live off of.
Please, I really had no idea at all about any of this. You can't treat me like this just because I didn't know.
That's where you're wrong. There's a difference between not knowing and not bothering to find out. You just chose to believe whatever your brother said because it fit your worldview and it gave you an excuse to always look down on me. I only hope that you realize just how wrong you all were. Anyways, I have to get back to taking care of my baby now. Good luck with whatever you all end up doing. After that, I sent Matt divorce papers that I had already signed. I demanded that he sign his portion and send them off, or else I'd take legal action. He started blowing up my phone with angry messages and texts, but I just told him that anything he said was being along to my lawyer. Well, his tune changed quickly after that, especially when he realized I was going to be suing him for all the financial support since it was given on the premise that he would look for full-time work, which he never did. As for his sister Ashley, she and her husband had to run back to her parents and beg to let them stay at their place. They begrudgingly agreed and are helping them to raise the baby, but they also told Ashley that she is going to have to work and contribute to the house if she wants to stay with them.
I never knew this about you before. But it so happens that you're 10 years older than me? So we can both agree that that makes you a super grandma now, right? Milani, that's not really the way you should be starting a conversation with me. The fact that I ran into you earlier today really shocked me. I had assumed you'd be a bit younger than you actually are. This means you're 7 years older than your brother, right? That's insane to me. Milani, what are you trying to say about me here? What? You're scaring me by asking what my true intentions are that way. Are you a little upset with me right now? Perhaps a little bit jealous? Jealous? Jealous of someone like you? Why would I ever be jealous of you, Milani? What do you have right now that I don't? Oh, please don't get that upset about the fact that I'm younger than you are and I'm about to get married. I'm sure that someday someone as unfortunate as you will be blessed with something great. I'm really not sure what all of this is about. I still don't understand why you think I'd be jealous of you, especially when I barely even know who you are. Besides that you're dating my little brother. Again, with this trying to act all tough about things when you're really screaming on the inside. I know that deep inside you're really wanting to get married right now, right? I'm sure that every single day you're thinking about it, craving it even. Aubrey, you're 40 years old now, and yet you're still single? There's no way that could be possible for a woman without some very good reasoning behind it. I'm not 40 years old. I happen to be 37, thank you very much. And right now, I happen to be more focused on my career than anything else in my life. The fact that you're even saying that leads me to believe you're never going to find yourself a man to make your husband. I feel so bad for stuck-up broads like you. I am so happy that I was blessed with never having to end up like you, making such a lame excuse as that. Could you please stop talking about me with such a terrible tone? You and I are going to become family very soon here, and I think it's best that we both begin to act nice around one another. So let's both set whatever it is we have against one another aside and make some steps towards being good sisters, so to speak. I honestly have no idea what you keep rambling on about there. This must be what people mean by older women always mumbling to themselves. And you are being so rude to me right now that I'm not quite sure what to even say back to you. By the way, you plan on coming to our wedding as well, right? What? I guess I do. It is my little brother's wedding after all, so I plan on being there. What do you suppose people will think when they see the groom's older sister, who happens to be 10 years older than myself, showing up at the wedding? What do you mean by that? I don't think anyone is going to care about that at all. Do you? I feel that Vincent might be very embarrassed by that, by his old hag of a sister showing up at his wedding. Well, you can stop thinking about how he or any of the other guests there might feel about it. Nobody is the kind of rude pile of trash that you happen to be. Especially my little brother. I understand what you're trying to get at here, though. It's pretty obvious to me that you really don't like anything about myself, and you want to trick me into thinking everyone thinks the same way. But you're not going to trick me any because I know better than to bother with losers like you. And as for coming to the wedding, I'll be there. I'm the groom's older sister, after all, and there is nothing that's going to stop me. Now, you can look forward to the lack of reactions from any of the guests to my appearance on the day of. It's gross that you think of yourself so highly. I really hope you think twice about coming, Aubrey. You might regret showing up there if you do end up coming. I believe it's only going to be you regretting anything if you keep that nasty attitude going around me. Your girlfriend, or well, I guess I should say fiancé, it doesn't seem that she's too fond of me being your big sister. Have you told her anything about what I do for a career?
I haven't said a thing yet. And why do you think she's not too fond of you? I didn't notice anything going on between the two of you when you both met earlier, so was there really something going on there? Did I miss something? Could it be because you didn't have a lot of makeup on?
I was kind of hoping that she would notice something about me then, especially considering she plays instruments herself. Are you certain that Milani actually plays anything or even knows much about music to begin with?
Well, she told me that she really loves playing different things, especially the piano. But...
Are you doubting her as well?
Well, it's not that I'm doubting what she said or anything. I shouldn't be doubting the person I plan to marry, right? It's just that ever since she graduated from that music school, she's been dreaming of becoming a piano teacher. So, as her soon-to-be husband, I have to support her on that.
So you don't doubt her, yet there's something up with her? Well, I guess at the wedding I can just ask her in person about what's going on with her. I'd like to know what school she ended up graduating from as well, things like that.
I really don't want to get caught in the middle of any of that. So you can go ahead and talk to her about it whenever I'm not around. And I'll try my best to keep what you do as a career a secret from her for the time being. I have to consider her pride in all this after all.
Well, as long as not telling her doesn't lead to any trouble, then it's probably the best thing to do. All right, the next time I get the chance, I'll talk with her about her situation. I happen to be planning to put on a fun little performance for the wedding, so I was wondering if I could get your help with it. I hope you're really looking forward to helping me out. I get that you hate me for some reason or another, but you would never use my help as a way of making things between you and I worse, right? By, let's say, bullying me in front of everyone. I think since today is the day of your wedding, we should both just put our hands down and be relaxed with one another. No way. Did I ever say that I hate you, Aubrey? I just feel really sorry for such an old hag not having a husband or a future for herself yet. I'm not sure how you can give me all that crap just then, but say you don't hate me at all. I'm getting the feeling that you're going to try to embarrass me or something, so could you please just tell me the truth about your plan? And if you're still not willing to tell me, how about you just knock all that off and save it for later? Yeah. It's almost going to be your turn, so make sure you're ready for it and do your best. Excuse me? When I'm finished, I would like for you to play the piano. What? The piano? You didn't hear about any of this from Vincent? I happen to have graduated from a music academy, and I am very skilled in all sorts of instruments. I heard about that, but what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'm planning on becoming a piano teacher myself soon. And the reason for that is because I have a lot of confidence in my skill playing the piano. Is that right? And when it comes to you, you're a strong, independent old hag that can do anything for herself, right? So we'll see you play the piano today, right after I'm finished. Although I'm sure whatever you decide to try playing will be nowhere close to the actual music I'm able to produce, and everybody will get to see that. I see. So that's the game you're trying to play now? I'm pretty sure that neither myself or Vincent have ever told you about whether I can play the piano or not, right? You sure haven't told me a thing about that. But you seem to be so confident in being single in your old age, so let's see you play the piano with such confidence. And don't worry, if you can't actually play, then just tell everyone that. Or if that's too difficult for you to do with all that pride, I'll show them you can't play. I think that would be even more entertaining, don't you think? I already know that I'm levels above you, so this will be easy as cake for me. I was kind of wondering what all of this would be about. I guess you were planning on using the piano as a way to destroy the confidence I have in myself this whole time? Well, have no fear, because I'll be putting on the best performance I can. You will? Are you sure it's going to be considered your best by anyone here? I think it's better you just tell everyone how bad you are. It'll save all their ears from having to listen to the sounds of a dying cat. And another thing you should do before you get off the stage, as a little extra for me, you should thank me. Thank you for what? You should thank me for ever finding the courage to invite an old hag like you to my wedding. And you should be thankful that I'm asking for your help in this piano performance today. All right, like I said, I'll be trying my best. I can't wait to see your butt being embarrassed. Right after my beautifully performed piece, everyone is going to have to get an earful of pain from whatever crap you try to play on the piano. Oh, I'm so looking forward to the expression on your face afterwards. I have no plans of playing any crap for them. Don't worry about it. Anybody can play random keys on a piano, so you don't have to feel as though you're anything special. If you can't even do that, just signal me over and I can help show you how to sit on the bench. I'm just that kind of caring person after all. I see. Well, I'm looking forward to this performance. What the hell was that? Who do you think you are? What the hell just happened out there? I might not have mentioned this to you before, but I happen to be a professional pianist. What? A professional pianist? And not just a professional one, but a professional one that happens to be known worldwide. However, it seems that you've never heard of me before. Well, we sure showed all of your guests today the difference between your piano skills and mine when I came on stage right after you to play. And let me just say, I believe I'm the one who's levels above you. Shut the hell up! It's because of you that all of this... All of this... what? That all of this planning you had turned upside down? That every single one of your guests applauded me today and I became the star of your wedding? And because of that, you threw a fit and tried to hit me with the wedding cake, but instead you missed me, causing you to fall and land on said cake? And since you did that, your face, hair, dress, pretty much everything about you is all gross and a complete mess. And now the wedding is canceled? Tell me, which one of these things were you trying to blame me for? Screw you, you old hag! I'm blaming you for all of it! It's all your fault that all of that happened to me! The only reason the wedding has been canceled is because my brother had enough of your crap. But I really don't blame him for wanting to cancel the wedding. I mean, look at what you tried to do to his older sister. I'm sure it was hard for you to try and get him to think of you any other way after what all you'd done. Why is all of this happening right now? This is all completely strange. All I wanted was to have the best day of my life today at my wedding, and this is how things turned out? I'm not kidding when I say that everything that went wrong today was because of you. Really? And explain to me why it's all my fault. All I did today was what you asked for. You said you wanted to help with your piano performance, and so that's what I did. I walked on stage after you finished your piece, and then I played mine. You were the one that told me to play the piano, right? And I thought you wouldn't be able to play it. I just assumed you were some overconfident hag that needed to be taught a freaking lesson. Yet you happen to be some world-famous pianist? How the hell could that be the freaking case right now? This is completely screwed up. Well, I'm sorry, but the truth is I'm a dang good pianist. And now that you know the full truth about who I am, I'd like to ask you a question. A question? You want to ask me a question? Did you really graduate from a music school? An academy, like you were saying before? Huh? Milani, I was a little doubtful about you before all of this, but if you really did graduate from a music school, which one was it? What kind, actually? Was it a public school or a private school? From what your mom was talking about a little bit ago, you happened to graduate from a public school. But where you're from, there is no public schooling for music. Not even any universities that offer music majors or minors. Am I missing something here? I never said I went somewhere near my hometown. Anywhere will do, right? And where I went to school has nothing to do with an old hag like you. But according to what I was told by Vincent, you didn't do well in school, did you? So could you please just tell me what school you went to so that I can stop asking you? Shut the frickin' hell up already. What the hell do you plan to do if I do tell you where I went? Why do you have to ask me questions like this when I've already been humiliated enough? Does it really frickin' matter to you that much where I went to school for music? Well, I suppose to myself it doesn't really matter. But had you really gone to school for music, especially for piano, it's a bit odd that you would have never heard about who I am there. What? What are you talking about now? Well, I am known for my music and skills worldwide, right? Yeah, you already said that to me. So what? Do you think I'm just supposed to know about every single person that's played the piano once I've graduated from school? Well, after hearing the performance I put on just then, you should have been well aware of who I am. But since you didn't seem to recognize me from that song alone, that must mean you're an amateur. However, as an amateur, you probably couldn't really tell what song I was playing or if it was any good or not. Are you really trying to say that I suck at playing the piano now? Well, from what I heard today out of you, it's not far off from me to say that you probably should just give up on playing. Do you understand that? There is no way my sister-in-law should be a pianist. Just no way. I never even heard from a single person before today that you'd even played the piano before. How come not a single soul told me about such important information before when I myself play the piano? Not even Vincent told me anything about you. And the reason for that is simple. Because you brag all the time about how you graduated from a music school. And you think that someday you'll open your own school and become a piano teacher. I had assumed with all that confidence in yourself and that dream, you would have known about me from just my name alone. Well, I don't care about you famous people. But even if you don't care about me enough to know my name, you should still be able to know my music. You're not a pianist, Milani, even if you think you can play the piano. Your timing on the keys was sloppy, and the notes you played were off by very large margins. Shut the actual hell up already, okay? Why the hell didn't you tell me any of this before I went out there? All you had to say to me was that you're a pianist. Well, I kind of forgot to say anything to you while you were running your mouth that whole time. Sorry? But honestly, nobody, including myself, wanted to tell you who I was because your pride would have been soiled. Vincent is a really kind soul, so he managed to play along with you so that you wouldn't get upset. But as for myself, I knew from the moment you started talking to me about the piano that you knew nothing. Huh? You knew I was lying? Wait, lying? I haven't been lying about anything. What kind of lie do you think I've been telling? I know that you want to say you graduated from a music school, but by just saying you graduated from one won't help you start a school. And even if you do find a way to start your own school, it will be open for only a short period of time because soon people will begin to realize you lied and will probably try and sue you over it. Do you understand what I'm saying? What? Sue? Sue me? Why would anyone want to sue me? Are you serious? You know why people would want to sue you over something like that. Plenty of families have their reasoning for wanting their children to learn an instrument from an early age. And plenty of those families want to send their kids to someone they can trust and keep around for a long time. If you start getting people that believe your lies to come to your classes, what do you think will happen when they realize they just paid a lot of money for a phony? Do you really think they're going to continue believing that you're a pro and that what you're teaching them is right? The music you played for everyone today is nothing compared to what someone who graduated from a music school can play. I'm telling you. I never thought that I'd be harassed this badly. You're a freaking old hag and are annoying as hell. I don't want to hear another word from your mouth about the things I do. Is that what you want? Then go ahead and do as you please. But don't expect any more support from Vincent on any of that. Huh? What do you mean by that now? Vincent has lost every bit of love he had for you today. Vincent has? There's no way in hell he stopped loving me. The way you acted today really embarrassed him as a man trying to marry you. You really did it today by acting like a spoiled little brat. Everyone's mouths were wide open after seeing what all you tried to do. Throwing your wedding cake at me, all because you couldn't handle the fact that I'm better at playing the piano than you? Do you have any idea just how embarrassed you made him feel today? It's because of everything you tried to do today that things ended up poorly for yourself. That's because you messed with me. Had you hit me in the face with that cake today, you would be facing a much harsher punishment than you already are. People would have really seen the kind of monster you are on the inside then. But I've already been punished more than enough today. I'm just as embarrassed as Vincent is, and for no good reason. I wasn't even thinking that I'd have to resort to throwing a cake in your face today. I was just hoping that when everyone heard you try to play the piano after my performance... You're jealous, aren't you? That's sad, coming from someone who was calling me jealous a while back. I have nothing else to talk to you about. Honestly, I don't even want to be around someone as toxic as you anymore. Someone who thinks it's okay to become that jealous of someone and then act like a spoiled brat when their plan to humiliate doesn't go well. If you and Vincent do still end up getting married at some point, I want you to know that I am not related to you in any way. You already know we're going to get married, why wouldn't we? Today was my wedding day, and I know Vincent will come around to me. You may have ruined all of it for me, but that doesn't stop him and I from getting married. Back to blaming me for all of that again. Well, go ahead and keep thinking that. Not everyone on this planet was able to graduate elementary school. Have a great time dealing with Vincent later. Wait a second, Aubrey! What? I was just told by Vincent that he's put some more thought into him and I getting married. Is he being serious right now? What the hell are all of you trying to say I did today? I was just trying to be happy, nothing else. Hey now. Stop throwing a temper tantrum and listen. Were you not trying to start something with me today by bringing me out on stage and embarrassing me, all because I'm older than you and still single? I believe you were, and today showed everyone just how toxic and crazy you are. Do you understand that? Aubrey, what should I do about all of this? I thought that I'd finally be getting married today and ended up quitting my job. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now if the wedding doesn't happen and I don't get to marry Vincent. Can you please help me get back together with Vincent? Did you just manage to forget how freaking rude you've been to me all in a matter of seconds? That's kind of scary, and you might want to get that checked out. But let me tell you, you're a freaking brat, and I'm not going to help you out of your own mess. Don't say things like that about me. Aren't you and I both living in the same world together? I mean, you and I are both music artists. You should be wanting to help me because of that. Don't you dare start saying you and I are both music artists. I might be one, but all you are is a fraud who thinks they can one day scam people for their money by faking a pianist. I think the only thing left for you to do is to be real with yourself and say that you can't play the piano and should just find something else to do. Well, it's not like I'm going to be seeing you anymore after this, so who am I to say what you do next? Figure something out yourself. Goodbye forever, Milani. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to play my song to the sounds of a dying cat today, but at least you filled in for that part. In the end, Vincent told Milani that he no longer wanted to marry her, and that was the end of the relationship they had with each other. She also ended up being told by her family that she was an embarrassment to them all, and after they cut ties to her, she had no place to return home to. Milani was left losing her job, her fiancé, and her family all in a matter of days. At one point, she did go to Vincent after they broke up and told him that she never actually did graduate from any kind of music school, but that didn't get a reaction out of Vincent before he started to walk away from her for good. And I'm sure we can all understand what the reason for being silent and walking away was.